I can still remember the first meeting we had in the Landmark Hotel. We were looking around, I believe it was second, third floor, and all of a sudden we just peeked in the door and there was people in there, so Ann and I looked in, and all of a sudden our pastor now they were in there. There was about 4 people, I guess, roughly 4 people in there. So anyway, the first words I heard was, "Come on in." Yeah, and we're still in. Yeah, we're still there.
So our first services, the attendance was small, but there was a lot of excitement and the vision was very strong in Pastor Dave and Cheryl's heart. And we caught that vision and we wanted to be a part of it.
From the moment that we walked into Coastal Church, we just felt that this was the church that God wanted us to be part of and serve in.
What really inspired us at that time was their vision to do something in the heart of Vancouver, in the West End. And at that time, the V6E postal code in the West End was considered the lowest percentage of professing Christians in all of Canada. And so for us, we thought, wow, this would be a mission. This would be a great place to plant a church.
Yeah, prayer really did change the spiritual climate, yeah. And yeah, we prayed for other churches, and mostly we prayed for the West End. It just felt like there was a wall in front of us, just an invisible wall in front of us, and the prayers kept pushing, we kept pushing, and then things start to open up.
The early days of Coastal Church were they're interesting, bring back a lot of awesome memories. And I remember this piano that we had at Coastal Church. I mean, it was just a wreck of a thing, but it was what we had to work with, and it didn't sound too bad, and we'd take every soundboard off that we could so the sound would just emit from it. And I remember playing on that, and some of the praise and worship in the early days, there was a lot of joy in it, I mean, again, just working with those circumstances, we made the best with what we had. I remember one Sunday, in the middle of praise and worship, I looked down and this string was wrapped around my leg, and I thought it was one of the guitar strings that snapped, but I was playing so aggressively on the piano that one of the strings had snapped and it wrapped right around my leg. But that was kind of I look back on that oftentimes and we laughed about that because it was really kind of an earmark of praise and worship in the early days at Coastal Church. Just a lot of joy, a lot of passion and enthusiasm.
Well, one thing about Coastal's life groups were always a part of it. It's not like the church existed and then we decided, hey, let's implement life groups. This would be a great idea. It always was, and our impression from Pastor Dave and Cheryl was that was a key component in order to keep your church community strong, keep your spiritual metabolism strong, that you're continuing to feed on the Word of God, and that you're able to pray together with other believers. So it never was an option. It always was something that was there and existed for a specific purpose, that we would have, like Pastor Dave says, that you have, one wing is Sundays and the other wing, to keep you balanced flying, is having that midweek meeting.
Back in the early days, there were many weeks where we had more people in life group than we would have in the services on Sunday morning. And I think that really served as the foundation for what Coastal Church is today. But it was a real bonding thing as well, because it just knit the core team together, because we really had to work together as a team to make it work.
When we first came, there would be maybe 60 or 80 people meeting in the Landmark Hotel, and every service would always start with Pastor Dave would say, welcome everybody, there are hundreds more, maybe thousands, and we all believed that there were hundreds more coming, maybe thousands.